guys, my name is Mizrah. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be speaking about the tour of all these trucks and the processes and what it takes to get it built. So we're going to do a little tour so you guys can see what it's like. Here we are. This is pretty much the first step as to getting your food truck built. So as you can see here, literally this truck is completely empty. The only thing that you see is the plywood on the floor, the cutout of the window, and then of course you have the insulation already done on the walls. So to kind of give you a rundown, these are like the first steps as to building your food truck, so to speak. The first thing you want to do before doing any kind of insulation or putting any walls up is basically cutting out the window. The reason why is because, of course, you're not going to want to put a wall up and then have to cut through the wall, so that makes the most sense. So the first process as to getting everything together is just cutting out the window. From there, we take the measurements and start putting the insulation in. And then once we have that, we cover it with stainless steel walls. Or a lot of people like to use other kinds of walls that are basically plastic or whatever the case is, but us, what we do is we like to put the stainless steel walls, and that's what I see on most of the food trucks. Outside of that, wherever you're placing the hood, you're gonna wanna put some type of fire resistant wall. So this is a very thick wall. It's like a sheetrock that goes underneath the final stainless steel wall, so that way if there's ever a fire or something, this kind of protects and prevents that from happening. So we always put that wherever the hood is gonna go. So clearly the hood is probably gonna be a huge hood from here to all the way over here, and then over this will be the stainless steel walls, and then we'll have our hood placed right here. On the floors, typically I see a lot of food truck builders put obviously the plywood. If you've already ordered a trailer that has a plywood, typically what some people will do is put diamond plate, or they'll put some type of flooring. I always recommend diamond plate though, because it allows you to not slip. Obviously you have to put the rubber mats because eventually your feet are definitely going to get tired, and also if you spill any oil you can slip and fall. So diamond plate is really nice. It's a clean cut look, and you can also rinse it off with just hot water and some soap. So here we are. Here is a food truck that clearly it's not completely done, but you can kind of have an idea of what the placement looks like. Specifically, this trailer is kind of unique because it has two hoods. It's a very big trailer. I would say it's probably about 28 feet, but I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. So to give you an idea, as you can see here, they've already mounted the hood. They've started all the electrical already. And then over there, they have the electrical panel. They haven't completely done it yet, so they're probably running all the wiring. Underneath the hood, though, we have a 48-inch flat top griddle. And then there's some under-counter shelving. There's also the work table where people like to prep and like to season. And then what they'll do is they'll prep, throw it here for their convenience. Then there's like the service table right here. So I'm going to assume this is going to be staying right here for prepping. Another work table here, and then we have our two windows. Now typically with the windows,
it's not picking it up. You good?
Is that?
Nope.
Okay. Typically with the windows, a lot of people like to install them after they've already installed all their equipment inside, because somebody can come in and break it. So typically they'll go ahead and install the windows after they've installed all the equipment. So installing doesn't necessarily mean that it's specifically placed where it needs to be or everything's completely done, but just more so of there's a lot of valuable things in here, so they want to make sure everything is enclosed. So on the other side, switching to this side, we have a sandwich prep table. So think of Subway, for example. There you have your chopping board. On here is your 16 compartments with all your veggies, tomatoes, onions, you name it. Whatever you're making to make a sandwich, tacos, goes in here. Then we have our second window, service table. So I'm gonna imagine that they're probably gonna have their register somewhere on here, taking orders on one side and then delivering the orders on the other side. On here, your second hood, as you can see, they literally just installed it, because typically they would have this stuff off, but they just installed it. And if you notice, like I mentioned on the other video, on the other trailer, there is a difference between the walls. So if you can see here, there's a little bit of thickness on this side because they've installed that fire resistant wall. So you're gonna always see a little bit of a difference, about 3 inches or 2 inches thickness, so that way it protects from fires. And then up here, they have their 5-foot flat top, so almost the same over there, but a little bit smaller. And then the 3-compartment sink and your hand sink, which has a splash guard. Underneath, they have their water tanks. Usually they'll have their water tanks either underneath the trailer or they'll have it underneath any of the tables or wherever the 3-compartment sink is, so that way there's easy access. And outside, they'll have like a spigot where you can spit out your water, and also another spigot where you actually connect the water hose to fill up your water tank so that you can get fresh water. Thank you guys so much for watching my YouTube channel. I'm super excited to see you guys all flourish in the food truck industry. With that being said, make sure you guys give a thumbs up if you did like this video, and if you do want to learn more about how to start a food truck business, make sure you click on the link in my bio to get all the 5 steps that you need to get started.